G'day, I'm DaveTTC and this is Dave's Cave. On today's episode, I'm just going to go a little bit into the pros and cons of an indoor workshop. Now, when I say indoor, I mean in-house, in the living area workshop. If you're single, you'll probably stay that way. And if you're married, you could end up single. Okay, let's take that out of the equation. The advantages and disadvantages. I love it because it's climate controlled. I like it because I can start as early as I like and go as late as I like. I live in a regional area, so I've got no immediate neighbours. So yes, I can use the saws, up to midnight or beyond if I want. But even if you lived in suburbia, you've got that freedom to work when you want, when you're ready to, within reason. Out here, I can do it beyond those limitations that you might have in suburbia. I like being able to take a break from my work and right away I'm at my coffee station, I'm near the fridge, I've got my iPad, I've got the TV in the background, often I have that on. I can be listening to YouTube, I can be doing all sorts of things while I'm working. I've got the creature comforts. The disadvantage. Well, it takes a lot of space. It can get in the way of your day-to-day stuff, the other stuff not to do with your woodworking. So at the moment, I'm doing this pretty much full-time because I'm trying to make stuff for markets. So I want to be able to sell stuff. So it's more than just a hobby that I do here and there. At the moment, my kids aren't with me, so I've got a little bit more freedom and a little bit more space. But I have them 50-50 and they're going to be here. And what am I going to do? Am I going to keep this all in the living area or am I going to clear it? Well, you'll have to come back and see. The disadvantage, the biggest disadvantage for me, beyond every other thing, is the dust. Now, if you're following my 11-day challenge, and right at the outset, I said I need to dust proof so that I don't get dust going, particularly upstairs. And in an earlier episode, you might have seen that I held the camera and I poked it up through the void there where the ceiling fan is, and you could sort of see up into my room and some of the living space up there. And over this side here, you might have seen as I came over to here, and then I pointed the camera up and there was all my clothes hanging above this void here. The dust has gone through everything. I mean, just as an example, I'm not sure if you can see the dust on my finger. That's my pantry shelves. My clothes, because of the semi-two-story nature of this bungalow, I have the ceiling fan on all the time to circulate the air, whether it's hot or cold. It's always hotter up there than it is down here. And so I've got the heater on in winter. It gets, must be warm outside. That's not on, it's thermostatic. If I have the heater on and I don't have the fan, it gets too hot to sleep. In the summer, if I've got the air conditioner on, the heat rises. It's nice down here, but up there it's too hot to sleep. So my fan runs 24/7. That creates the circulation, and so the dust, it went through all of my clothes. I had that much hanging space times 3, plus a couple of open cubicles. Just to do one lot of hanging, it took 3 loads of washing. The first load of hanging, the furthest one, well, that's all my work clothes, and I've been wearing them flat out over the last few weeks, so they had to be washed anyway. And then the last lot of stuff closest to the edge of the building above the windows there, that's my good clothes, my shirts and ties and suits. Now, fortunately, most of my suits were actually in suit bags, so they're relatively protected. Got a big overcoat, it's going to be dry cleaned. Got some other stuff, probably should have been dry cleaned, put it through a gentle wash. All my shirts, so guess what? They're not getting ironed. They might when I need to wear them. You can see I don't iron these clothes. So the dust was prolific. The dust was through my blankets. My washing machine doesn't like washing king size blankets. It really struggled to spin dry. So the dust, and I tried, a couple of dust collectors, but that still didn't do the job. It's helped. So that's the biggest drawback. But if I could take aside the dust, in reality, personally, I love it. I'd like a bit more space, but I love being able to come downstairs and get into some work and have no restrictions as to how long or how late I can go. But I've lost 3 days trying to clean and dust proof. So what have I done? Let's have a look. So I've got a sheet here which goes up my ladder and into my bedroom area. Not that I'm really going to take you into my bedroom, but you go through the tent. Someone said it's a bit like ET, the tunnel at the end of ET, and up you go into my living area. And normally that'll be hooked behind the ladder to stop any dust going up through there. So I've done that. I've added some blinds instead of curtains. Up here, I've sheeted that right up to the roof. Let's see if we go wide angle. So we see that goes right up to the roof, and I've sealed that side right up to the roof. Then there was a couple of voids in the floor here, an old curtain there. The guitars are all up there. Oh, yeah, they're dusty. I'm sorry, kids. Yeah, I'll have to fix that. And then under the bed, because there's like little holes there that go under the bed, and then up here along there, that goes under the bed, and I've got some storage there, so dust was going in through there. So I've put this blue sheet up. The pegs are pegged to the springs on the bottom of the bed, across the top of all my timber storage off to this side, and all nailed in place. So that is relatively, well, I don't know. I'm hoping it's dust proof. We'll have to wait and see. Now, some other things I've done. Let's have a look. Follow me. So I had curtains here, and it was a real pain pulling it back and hooking it over here every time I would have a coffee. So I thought, blinds. So now when I am having a break, I just pull them up, get into my fridge, get in dust, get into my coffee area, which is dusty because one time I didn't shut the blinds. If I want to be able to load the dishwasher, and I got my plates on the sink over here, can open the dishwasher, everything straight in, done. You might recall I also had a builder's trestle here which the saw was on. Now that came out to here somewhere, and every time I wanted to do the dishwasher I had to kick it sideward so that I could open the door. Well, now I've gone to a trolley which suits two things. It means I can move it easy when I do clean up. Now I do still want to do something with this. You'll see that in one of the next episodes. You may have seen the drill press, not sure. Big long fence on it now. That's in an episode which may have gone to air. Oh, you can't quite come around. Can you see me? I'll spin you around a little bit. I've changed my table saw and router setup, and I actually decided that I like having it on casters. So I've got two of those little dollies that I usually have the stools on underneath that, and it just makes it so much easier for cleaning. So I can wheel this, I can wheel that, I can wheel that. The only fixed items are the lathe and the drill press. Man, that weighed a ton. And then in the kitchen area, I also put another blind. Are you following me? That's it. Okay, and so over here, there's this other blind here which comes down and it helps stop, hopefully, some of the dust from the drop saw. I do still use the air blower just to blow everything over to that corner and then sweep up, shovel up, vacuum up. And I want to try to do a cleanup at the end of every day. So there's pros and there's cons. And realistically, if my shed had space and it was set up, I would have been doing it out there. I don't think I would have been as productive because some mornings have been like 0, or for you who speak that foreign language, I believe that's about 32 F, and that's F for freezing. Yeah, I don't like it. Plus, it's windy. The wind goes through that shed anyway. It's windy. I'm going to redo the walls there one day. And with some of the rain we've been having, the water actually runs through the shed. So it's dry in here. It's warm in here. It's a little bit dusty, but I like it. So the pros and cons, are you going to do it? I'd love to know if anyone else has gone to this level of madness and turned their inside area into a workshop. Have you done it and been in a relationship? Have you done it and got children? My kids haven't lived this yet. That they're going to find possibly soon. Anyway, that's what I'm doing here. I'm about to get back into production mode. I've finally finished sealing off, and so I'm going to do some wood turning. You can watch that on the next episode. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget, like, subscribe, and share. And to those that are giving me ideas for my markets, especially John down in Bacchus Marsh, thanks a lot. There's some good stuff coming out there. We'll see what things I get to and what things I'm able to make. Bye for now.